Yo guys, and welcome to a new video. Today I will be talking about Splitsville. Alright, so Splitsville is the comedic version of Materialists that also aired in 2025 and also starred Dakota Johnson, which means that you have two very similar movies with two very similar leads because they both have Dakota Johnson and you can choose which one is your favorite. And I have to say that that comparison is totally off the charts because even though the movies look similar, they totally are not in terms of the story. So if you've seen a lot of jokes about that online, I have seen quite a few of myself. It's not that, it's not a comedic version of Materialists. It's a very distinctive thing on its own. It stands on its own, it works best. It's some kind of a romantic comedy, heavily leaning in on the comedy aspect of it. This movie is unintentionally hilarious with times. I have to say that the comedy did not work the entire way through, and not all of the jokes and not all of the gimmicks worked well for me. There were some things that had me rolling on the floor though. There is an entire 5-minute sequence of two bros fighting each other in the house using everything they can to try and bash each other in. And it's hilarious, and I loved that sequence. That was so incredibly funny, and I genuinely really enjoyed everything what that they did with that. It was hilarious, and I could definitely and easily watch 5 minutes or a movie of 90 minutes of just them fighting because that was hilarious, and I loved what they did with that. The rest of the story, it's good. It's definitely very interesting. It keeps you hooked from beginning to almost the ending, and it makes sure that you kind of get where these characters are coming from, where they are going, and how they get into the place where they are right now, especially with our lead in Carey. I think Carey is awesome, is one of the better leads of this year. I definitely loved what they were doing with him and how they were having him deal with certain situations that he was put in. And I genuinely really loved his character. I also love Dakota Johnson. I also love Biggs. I don't know her name in the movie. I am very awful with names, but she was Biggs in Andor, so I'm just gonna call her Biggs. I loved her, and I liked the other husbands that was also there and the other characters. I think everything surrounding the minor characters, the hookups, is exceptionally hilarious. I loved their inclusion. I loved everything that they did with that, and the humor just mostly really works and only doesn't work for around 30% of the movie. 30% of the movie you can definitely feel that they are trying to give jokes to you and that they are trying to pull off some laughs with you, but it just doesn't work because it feels so incredibly forced. But moments where you can see that they aren't trying as hard, or when they know they have some gold in their hands, it absolutely thrives and it's absolutely awesome. I do think story-wise that the movie doesn't have a satisfying ending. The movie ends in a certain way that it kind of feels like a waste to watch the rest of the movie, because in the end not a lot of things have changed for these people, which is a little bit sad and a little bit of a bummer, because the rest of the movie is that incredibly great. And with me not liking the ending of this one so incredibly much, I had to say that I was a little bit bummed out by the end product, even though that the journey towards that end product is still very, very, very great, and I liked what they were doing with that. If they cut out the last 5 minutes of this movie, it would have been better. It would have been one of the better movies of 2025. Now it just rests very safely somewhere around the middle. It's definitely not a bad movie. It's unintentionally hilarious with times. It's a really great one, but you should be wary that the ending did not satisfy me, but maybe it will satisfy you in the end. In the end, I still decided to give this one 4 stars because I enjoyed the living fuck out of almost everything in this movie, apart from the ending and apart from some things in the middle that make this movie feel lengthy at times. Alright, what did you think of this? Please let me know in the comments down below because I'm really excited to hear your opinion on it. I want to thank you for watching and I'd like to see you in the next video. Thank you and bye bye.